Hello,
Hello.
everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to episode 3.
Hello, everybody.
How
How's
you
everyone
going,
going tonight? Hey, Terry Ann, how's things, mate?
Yeah, all good here. All good here.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, living the dream in not so sunny Port Macquarie. I think it's raining
No,
again.
it's a bit wet.
Yes, I think we just tipped over the 1,000 or something for the year. So 1,000 mil for
Really?
the year.
Wow.
So
Exceeding expectations.
yeah, it's stupid. So anyway,
Oh, well, what can you do?
we can't do much about it. So
No,
we
that's
whinge
right.
when it's not raining, and we whinge when it is raining. So
Pretty
that's how
sure
it
we.
is.
Uh,
Just
all
having a
right.
look
Well,
through
let's have
the
a look in the chat room
chat
and see who's
room.
here tonight.
Looks like all the usual suspects are here. Looks like Canberra's here, 1,000 of them as usual, which is good to see us all. Darren, Ozfox, Darren Archer, that is, Ozfox, Julie, DTY, Kitty Catch, Lisa, and Gabriel, Julie, and Tank Engine.
For all those Canberrians, how was the 2 events in Sydney on the weekend? I hear they were pretty good.
Didn't even know there
There
was
was
events in
the,
Sydney.
Yeah, there was an event on Cockatoo Island,
Oh,
and
okay.
then GC New South Wales, they had their See You Summer celebration
Okay.
over at Sydney Olympic Park.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got Fred Flintstone in the house.
Hi, Fred.
Tim Williams, Sheridan, how you going?
Oh, dear. Nice.
Dave Manning.
Oh, good.
The
Kitty
smile
Cat.
smile makers from Wyoming.
Smile makers.
And he cleaned up Cockatoo Island, is what Annie's just saying. So,
Tank Engine. Thank you. Glad you enjoyed. That looks good.
there we go. So, yes, anyway, getting
All right,
a bit of a crowd in, so might as well start.
Let us be wenting.
Sounds good.
Alrighty, welcome everybody. This is episode 3 of season 2, and we are talking to a lovely guest today from Victoria. Her name is Gemma. She'll be on a little bit later. We've also got some amazing prizes and a surprise prize for you all. Say that when you're drunk. Now, we do have a moderator that's lurking in the background, keeping an eye on you all, so keep it PG. But by all means, chat amongst yourselves, join in. We love the interaction.
Yes, please join in. So, like we said, we're going to go around the traps as usual, and Gemma's in the house. We're going to talk about the GeoTour. It's now gone live in Ballarat. The calendar photo of the month. We've got another winner there. That's going to be announced at the end again. And like Terrian just mentioned, got another giveaway thanks to John and Di at geostuff.com.au, plus a bit of a mystery prize there from Geocaching Victoria as well. So
Can't wait for that.
hang around. It's towards the end of the show as always. So if you haven't already, grab something to drink, have a chat, let us know what's going on, and enjoy the show.
Yeah, alrighty, let's get started. Alrighty, so starting with around the traps, we've got the Aussie and New Zealand mega news. These are some of the events that we know about. So the Cache Queensland Daybro event is on the 2nd to the 5th of April. That's getting really close now. If you haven't got your will attend, get to it.
Only a month to go.
You're going, aren't you, Gary?
At this stage, yes. Yeah. Borders.
I know, right? Yeah, fingers crossed. All of that. Oh, dear. That looks like it's going to be a really great event. If anyone watched our show last month, you will be informed and in the know. If not, go back and watch it.
Yes.
All right. Following on from there, we've got Western Australia Goes Big. So that's on in Albany. That's on the 5th to the 7th of June this year. If you're over that way, or if the borders are open, head on over. Following on from that, in October, we have the Geo Venture, which was 2020, has been moved forward to 2021. 2nd of October, that one. That'll be in Millicent, South Australia. So pretty close to Melbourne for all those Melbourneites as well. They can just duck on over. And following on from that one later in October, we've got the Auckland event. Once again, that one was scheduled for 2020, has moved to 2021. That's 23rd, 25th of October.
And again, that's obviously borders pending, whether or not we're allowed out of the country.
Yeah, that's right.
Fingers crossed.
Alrighty, then after that, we've got a little bit of news you probably already heard, but the Going 8 Mega, the HQ 20th anniversary celebration event, and the Geo Woodstock event, which is going to be in Canada, they've all been postponed another year. So they're going from August of 2021 to August of 2022. So once again,
somewhere in there.
see what time brings.
Yep. I think we might have just missed on the Wangaratta event too then. Just bring that one up in November.
My apologies.
That's all right. So just the Wangaratta event, 13th, 14th of November at this stage. Fingers crossed.
Welcome, Duncan, all the way from Norfolk Island. Welcome. Hope you enjoy the show. Thanks for joining us.
Getting people from everywhere. It's getting
exciting. That's right. We're going international.
Oh dear. So moving on. Souvenirs. You're not going to believe it. The wonders of the world. The wonders are still going.
And been extended.
They have been extended. They are extended. They've now got what's it calling them? The natural wonders and the solar system wonders. Same as before. There's 7 in each. You got to look on the cache pages to see what your needs in them, and that's how you get them. You got to get all the naturals first, and then the solar system opens up, and then you get all of them, and then when you get all of them, you get the Ultimate Explorer souvenir. So there's, I think that's got 3 souvenirs, and plus all the other little things that go on your page as well.
That's right. Yeah, souvenirs galore.
So there's a few there, and they got the Cache In Trash Out Season 1, which kicked off 2 days ago. 1st of March, which goes through until the 31st of May. A little bit later on, we've got the Blue Switch Day, which is the 30th of April. So that's another souvenir. And Perseverance has a souvenir that they've announced. When and if it goes live and you're able to log the TV, you'll be able to get a souvenir there as well. So there was some talk on Facebook the other day that people had actually logged it, but I don't know if it's gone live or if they're just pulling a chain or what.
I haven't checked the cache page in the last few days, but last time I looked, it had actually been disabled.
Yeah, right.
They're probably don't know. People from logging it until they release the picture.
Yeah. Excuse me. So I don't know what's going on there, but it'll go live eventually. Everyone
They'll tell us what's going on.
They'll tell us. Someone will tell us.
Can't miss it.
Don't forget your locationless cache. Now that the Cache In Trash Out season started, you might be able to double up on that one. Get the Cache In Trash Out souvenir and the locationless what's it called, icon for GC8 Neat. And the Adventure Lab thing's still going on too. If you want to apply for an Adventure Lab, you can go to geocaching.com/play/request/Adventure Lab, and providing that you meet the criteria, you can apply for an Adventure Lab if you want one of those. And last little bit.
The chat room. Sorry, Gary. Fox.
No, you're right.
Perseverance is still locked.
Still locked. Yes, they're making everyone hang on. It's the most watched Mars expedition in the history of the planet. Anyway, to wrap up around the traps, we've got Cache of the Month for a couple of spots this time. We've got for New South Wales for January, we have Newcastle Coastal Tour. Yeah, yes. That's the one. Placed by Big Matt and Shell in 2017. It's a virtual cache that brings you to the beautiful coastal edge of Newcastle area. The virtual tour takes you to a number of locations which showcase the area there. February's not available as yet, but we do have one for WA this month.
Yes.
Albany Quarantine. Is that WA? I think it was. Yes, Western Australia's first geocache. That's right. Placed on the 27th of March 2001. It's been, apparently this cache, when it was put out, was approved for publication by Jeremy Irish. That's how old it is. It was still their job back then to approve all the caches. So Yeah, so it's been since 2001. It's got 72 favourite points. It's located along the road to the old quarantine station. And looking at the map there, it looks like an awesome spot to go and have a bit of vacation day. There's a few other caches around it as well. So, and it's also the inspiration for the event coin celebrating 20 years in caching in WA. And if you go to their website,
Yeah. Have a look at it. It's such a cool coin.
Can't remember the actual website. Sorry, just if you Google WA geocaching, it'd be in there. And that's all we got on the around the traps tonight. That's that rounds that up. So,
alrighty, let's end that section. Alrighty, Gary, do you want to introduce our guest tonight?
Yes, I can do that. Gemma. Tonight's guest is Gemma. She's here tonight to talk of a brand new GeoTour that has gone live out of Ballarat, Victoria, which is GT4A1. She's part of the organising committee. She's here to answer some questions and just to chat about the tour in general. So everyone, welcome Gemma to the show.
Hey, Gemma.
Hey, Gemma.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Oh. A few technical issues, but we're all sorted now. Gotta love a technical issue. So how's sunny Victoria?
Oh, we had a beautiful weekend. It's been a bit colder the last couple of days, but that's okay. I mean, I work during the day, so it's all good.
Fair enough.
Out.
Fair enough.
Alrighty, chat room. If you've got any questions for Gemma, put them in the chat room, and we will try our best to get to them. If you think of anything,
sorry.
Right, let's launch straight in here.
Rightio. We're going to start some easy questions here for you, Gemma. So you should know the answers to these ones. What is your caching name, and how did you come up with it?
So my caching name is Gemma Sistema. I didn't come up with it. When I started geocaching, I didn't know what I was signing up for. So I used my full name. So my full name is Gemma Semensma. And a few months in, once I started going to events, behind my back, people were calling me Gemma Sistema because no one could pronounce my surname. So that's what they started calling me. And I'm like, oh my God, how cool is that? So basically after about 6 months in, I switched and now I'm Gemma Sistema.
Excellent. It rolls off the tongue too.
It does, yeah.
Oh dear. Sorry, my earphones just went on me.
Yeah.
So when and how did you start caching?
So I'm totally blaming Sensible Shoes, who are based in Sydney. So my day job is as a librarian, and Andrew and Lisa, actually, both from Sensible Shoes, are both librarians, and I'd met them many years ago at a conference up in Brisbane, and was Facebook friends, and Andrew kept posting this stuff on Facebook about geocaching, and I'm like, what is this thing he keeps on going on about? And finally one night I Googled it. I signed up, and the next morning on the way to work I found my first cache, and as they say, the rest is history. So totally their fault.
Totally their fault. They're nice people too. We've run into them a couple of times around the place, and they're good for a chat.
Yes, they're gorgeous.
You can take the next one, Darian.
Alrighty. So in terms of stats for geocaching, do you have any that are your favourite stats?
It's a good question. I guess, I don't consider myself a number chaser, but I'm pretty proud, or obsessed, or whatever you want to call it, with the fact that I think I hit 7 years in May this year, and I found just over 7,000 caches. So that's not a bad effort for me, with a couple of little kids. They're not quite so little anymore.
They would have been little when you started, though.
They were. I remember picking my oldest up from kinder when I discovered and go, oh, come on, let's go get one after kinder pickup. And and then a 3-year-old at the time just got dragged around. So he's now just turned 10. So
Yeah, fair enough.
Ah,
They're not quite so little. You can't lift them up anymore to get that cache out of the tree, or not as they can climb trees though. So
No, they come in handy.
it does. And I think caching wise, I mean, I like. I quite enjoy placing caches as well. So I've got a couple of 100 caches out there, a bit of everything. So some earth caches and
oh yeah.
lots of trads. That's what I enjoy finding. Lots of systemas in the bush. So yeah. So
Extra
I
one when you're
guess I
looking for it.
enjoy. Yeah, I guess I enjoy both aspects, both finding and
hiding.
and hiding. Yeah.
That's good.
Good.
Oh, sorry, my
Well,
sandwich.
we might jump on in then to the main topic of the show, the Geo Tour, the new one and only Geo Tour in Australia, located in Ballarat. So I know you did have a launch event for that. How did the event go?
So it was a bit touch and go because, well, firstly, we've got a beautiful lake in Ballarat, so we decided that we would hold it around the lake. And then a beer festival came along on the same day, so we had to change our location to a big park that wasn't too far away. And then obviously Victoria went into a 5-day lockdown. So it was a bit touch and go until the Wednesday before the launch, at which point instead of having 100 outside, you could only have 20.
Oh,
So then it was
rude.
a bit of a last minute scramble to find a venue, because it might sound a bit crazy, but you're allowed to have 100 people inside.
right.
So we ended up
That might have
at
been
the
a typo.
showgrounds. Yeah, so we ended up at the showgrounds in the cattle pavilion. There was no cattle at the time. And let's just say it was a hot day and it was a tin shed, and it was we were having a bit of a joke and calling it Ballarat's newest sauna. So it was absolutely disgustingly hot in there. But
Yep.
to be COVID safe and to launch the tour on the date that we'd planned, and obviously people had booked accommodation and all of the things that go with it, we went into this hot tin shed, and we had, I think there's about 130, 140 people came to the launch. So it was a fantastic number of people. And then they scattered really quickly. We didn't talk for very long so that people could go out and get fresh air.
Fair enough. So can you tell us, what is a Geo Tour in its basic sense?
Yeah, so I guess a Geo Tour really it's a tourism type venture. And so particularly in the US, a lot of, the equivalent of our councils or local shires will, I guess you have to stump up some money to have a Geo Tour. So they will basically put money up, caches will go out, and it will bring people to your region. And then obviously the flow and effects are that people stay the night, they spend money, and also they discover the amazing locations that are in your town. So our Geo Tour obviously does all of those things, but in order to get the grant, so we got a grant from Vic Health, so one of their Reimagining Health grants. So obviously part of that is also having events, so to connect people, to help with social isolation and loneliness that happened during COVID, and also to get people out and active. So I guess generally speaking, a Geo Tour is a tourism grant, but we're also using it with a health spin, I guess, to get the best of both worlds.
That's great. That's awesome.
Sounds good.
I might just go a little bit off script here. We've got a question from the chat room that I think is a good place to start. Just pop it up on the screen there. So Kitty Cat, she wants to know, is there a passport for the Geo Tour, or do you just head out and grab the caches?
No passport. We, I guess, so everybody that's helped to put this Geo Tour together are volunteers. And yes, we did get some funding, but basically it's the bare minimum to cover what we need to do. So it's all voluntary run. And so basically we have gone with a keep it simple approach. So no passports. So often what a passport will do at the end is allow you to either get free geo coins or to purchase them. And so you just need to find the 25 caches, and then you can purchase the coins at the end.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. think that leads on nice into the next question, Gary.
Just trying to see where we're up to. Oh, do you need HQ to approve the GeoTour badge, so to speak, or can anything just be called a GeoTour?
No, so there's very strict rules around a GeoTour. So a reviewer would never allow publication of anything that had the word GeoTour. You would never be able to print a coin that has the word GeoTour. And so I guess that the unique thing with a GeoTour is that so when you do a cache, there's attributes. So it might be kid friendly, or you might have to climb a tree, or park and grab, or any of those things. So the 25 caches, or the only 25 caches in Australia right now that have a GeoTour attribute, are the ones in Ballarat. So I guess that's a rare thing to be able to find as well.
Yep.
But you cannot use it without basically paying money.
So is there a geocache at every waypoint, or is it like a big multi where you gather all the information and then there's one at the end?
No, so there's 25 separate caches that are listed, and of the 25, so there are, I think it's 17 trads, 4 multis, 2 mysteries, and a letterbox. Okay. And so obviously it's realistically, if you actually use the geocaching app instead of a third-party app like Cachely or anything like that. So when you click into one of them, there's actually a little banner that comes up on the top that says this is part of a GeoTour, and then you can click on that and it will take you through and just bring up all of those specific caches. But yeah, so it's realistically, most people won't even know. Obviously, diehard geocachers like us that are all here today will understand, but there'll be plenty of people that just serendipitously come across them as well. So
and Kitty Catch is just chucking there. She's obviously done her research, and there's also an earth cache.
Oh yeah, and an earth cache. Clearly knew that was all the types that we could have. I tried to get a virtual, but we weren't allowed one. So
yeah, okay, fair enough.
So is there a code in each side in each one, or
no? So we wanted to keep it simple because obviously, as I said, we're all volunteers, and so obviously there's a team of people that will go around and help if something goes missing or something needs maintenance. But if things get stolen, and then there's a code in the top, we've all been out there where multis are missing or this whatever. Mm-hmm. So I think for most of us work full time, and this is the hobby on the side. So really, it was very much a keep it simple. And obviously there's lots of different ways you can do one. And we also thought that there hasn't been one for quite a while, and certainly not in Victoria. It was quite a few years ago when Eildon GeoTour was around. And we sort of thought, well, let's go with simple, and then hopefully we'll have another GeoTour in a few years and they can tack on all those bits that we didn't do. So
okay, I'm just going to go to the chat room here. The Kitty Catch has just chucked up another question here. Do we get a souvenir if we do some/all of the tour?
You need to complete the GeoTour to get the souvenir.
So there is an actual souvenir involved there.
There is a souvenir. Yep.
Sweet.
So
everyone chasing souvenirs for another excuse to go to Ballarat. Is it possible to complete it all in a day? Like, would you get the full benefit doing it in one day, or better?
You can, and obviously, so there's lots of different ways you can do a GeoTour, and I think what we've tried to do is be strategic in the way that we've approached ours. So every single cache that you will find is located within the city of Ballarat. So the hope is that we will have some really good data that HQ will give us to say this is how many people came, and this is how they can tell us how long people stayed for, and all that sort of stuff. And the hope is that we will be able to take that data to another council area and say, oh, look, this is what we did in Ballarat. Will you hit up, give us some money basically to do another one in your area? So the city of Ballarat isn't a huge area because obviously, Ballarat's fairly big within itself. You could do it all in a day. Somebody said it took them about 9 hours. We obviously make you get out and walk to some. And we've obviously, you have to go to the, the outer edge of the Shire in both directions and, walk up a mountain and all that sort of stuff. But I think, what we're encouraging people to do is to come and stay. Obviously, we've been hit hard by the events of last year. We want to encourage, as a tourism thing, we want to encourage people to come, stay in Ballarat. And I mean, obviously you can chase just the 25, but Ballarat has a ton of amazing caches and heaps of adventure labs. So there's certainly, you know, plenty to do. Not just the GeoTour ones. Yeah.
Kitty Catch also says the same thing there. Lots of lab caches and others to do there as well. So stay the night and enjoy it.
Yeah, and support our, you know, businesses in our town.
Local areas. That's right. Where are we up to? Oh, Julie from the chat room's got one here as well for you. If you do the GeoTour, do you get to keep the icon forever?
So I think when you say icon, you mean the attribute. So obviously when you get the souvenir, you get to keep that forever. The attribute is different. So that is a geocaching HQ, let's just say issue, I guess. So if you've done a GeoTour in the past in Australia, so I think there's been 3, you would have got that attribute when you were doing it, and you would have retained the attribute when it was live. But when it gets archived, or, you know, after the 1, 2, 3, however many years that GeoTour is around, you lose that attribute. We can't control it. We have spoken to, you know, we've obviously made our feelings very, very clear to HQ, because that's one of the big questions that people ask that have obviously done it before. I didn't know this was an issue until, you know, late last year, when someone's like, oh, what about the attribute? Because you're just like, oh. So, so no, unfortunately, you don't get to keep it. We've put in our thoughts about how we think that we should be able to keep it, but that's a HQ decision.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, to be honest, there hasn't been a GeoTour since I've been caching in Australia that I'm aware of, and I didn't even know that there was an attribute. So there you go.
And yeah, obviously different people chase different things. So I'm a bit like you. I'm not fussed about attributes, but I'm sure, not that there is yet. And someone said, oh, there'll be a challenge cache out about it. So you're like, oh, all right. Well, then at least I'll qualify, I guess, once I haven't found them all myself. So I'm trying to find them one each day to you know, eke it out a bit.
Too busy organising it.
Well, also, no, it's a totally strategic thing. If I take longer to find them, the stats look better, because it will look like someone's been here for 25 days finding them. So I'm finding one a day and logging them, you know, one per day. So
fair enough.
Got a bit of feedback here from the chat room. Just what a fabulous initiative this is. Win-win for tourism, businesses, geocaching. So congrats to you. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic. And look, it's, for me, obviously, I'm one of the ones that helped get it going. And so I live in Ballarat, which is why it's here. So it's fantastic, obviously, for the Ballarat geocaching community, who have been incredibly supportive. So we had, obviously, you know, so we had Geocaching Victoria, who went along with the crazy idea and allowed, I sit on that committee, so allowed us to put in for the grant. And then we had a small team in Ballarat who helped decide where everything was going to go. And we've got about 15 different locals that have all put a cache or 2 out each and are maintaining that. So there's been incredible support locally. We're a pretty tight-knit community down here. And obviously, you know, we've got amazing reviewers that have helped along the way. So we've been really, really fortunate. And I mean, I must admit, I was just so excited when they went live. And then obviously you wait for every single one to be found so that you know that they're still there. And I guess just, you know, it's a weight off your shoulders, because obviously after the COVID thing, thinking, oh my God, are we going to have to move it again? But we didn't. So it was all good. So they're at least, they're out now.
Gary, did you chuck up that question from the chat room from Facebook, Sheridan?
Sheridan, yeah, it's very similar to one that's coming up in our notes as well. So how long is it guaranteed to be active? A year or so? Or like people need to plan travel if they want to find it?
So we're fortunate that we've managed to, there was another question further up about what does it cost. So basically costs are different depending on which GeoTour option you take. And so we've again gone with the, I guess, the base option, so the lowest of the low. And so the way we've been able to work that means that this particular Geo tour will be here for 3 years. So obviously they can go anywhere from 1 till basically till you keep paying at the end of the day. So we negotiated
payment system, is it?
Yeah, so there's obviously the first year is more expensive, and then there's every subsequent year is a lower price. So we negotiated a 3-year price up front. Because obviously we had funds that had to be spent, and so we just wanted to do it up front so we knew where we were placed moving forward. So you've got
good idea too.
Obviously 3 years, so it'll finish early 2024. So plenty of time to come down to
Ballarat.
It
also gives people like that, like what Sharon said there, gives people time to plan their travel and everything. The 3 years, everyone should be jabbed by then. So that'd be good.
Yeah,
it's actually quite a run of people asking the same question through that. So that was obviously one that everyone wanted the answer to. I'm not sure. Maybe someone can help me on this one. Oz Fox has put a comment up for the 7th of March. Is the 7th of March something significant that we should know about, that you can get 12 cache types?
Not specifically to do with the Geo Tour, but obviously if you are planning to come, it might not be a bad day to hit up Ballarat, because there will be 12 cache types available. So there's a Cyto, a community event, a normal event, and then obviously now you can get labs all the time. So, then the rest of them. So a lab, letterbox, multi, mystery, trad.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Virtual, Earth cache, something else. I've forgotten one.
The Geo Tour icon. There you go. And Houston Dave's just chimed in there too. He's going to put this one on his bucket list.
Good luck.
There's plenty in the US too. So, I mean, if you look at the map, it's quite incredible.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're more well-versed in Geo tours than we are. We've only got one.
Yeah, for sure.
We've got to get the hang of it.
Julio saying wonderful initiative and looking forward to getting there to do it. So, very good.
Surely we're all going past Ballarat at some stage in the next 3 years.
Oh, you'd think
That's
so.
Right.
Wouldn't you
so you mentioned before, and I'll just bring it up again. You got the sponsorship associated. So it was Victorian Health, was it? Sort of just to get people out and about, a mental health type thing? Or
yeah,
just
so
health?
It was a reimagining health grant, which was funded by Vic Health, which is one of the departments, I think, that falls, slot somewhere under the Department of Health, I think, in Victoria. So a local Victorian grant, and basically it was a COVID recovery grant.
Yep.
To try and get people healthy and active, and obviously we put the nature spin on it, and the events and bringing people together spin, which is obviously it was a fantastic phone call to get from my local MP to tell us that we were successful.
So for a year, the grant, or is that ongoing?
No, so the grant is it was a one-time grant. So so we obviously looking at other grant options that are out there to do other things in Victoria. So there's, lots of things to do.
Yeah, very good. So the next sort of question we've got on our list is sort of similar to what Kitty Catcher's chucked up. So I'll chuck Kitty Catcher's up. Just so if you finish the Geo Tour, you're eligible to place an order for a coin. I don't think we have a picture of the coin, do we? Or how much does it cost?
So I can't remember off the top of my head. I should look that up. If you go to the Geocaching Victoria Inc. website, you can head into the shop. You will see there's 3 coins that are available to purchase. So the first one is a standard coin. So anybody can buy that regardless of whether you found a cache or not, just to help support GVI in bringing events like this and megas and that sort of stuff to the state of Victoria. The second coin you can purchase after you've found 10 of the Geo Tour caches, and the final coin you can purchase after you found all 25.
Okay.
of the caches. And there is a fourth coin that you cannot see because it's a limited edition coin, and you can win those in a few different ways, but obviously coming to our events is one way to win, and other ways too that we're making up as we go along. So
See what opportunities present themselves.
I'm just trying to
No.
find the coins here. Okay, so the 10 fines is $20. Now it wants me to chat with people. So 10 fines is $20. 25 fines is $25, and a Ballarat GeoTour standard geocoin is $20 also. Yeah. So $20 or $25 depending on which one you're getting at the time.
Yeah, or 65 for all three. They actually haven't hit the country yet. We're waiting on them to arrive. But obviously they can be posted, or if you're coming down for a mega event, so obviously the Wangaratta event is happening later in the year, you can pick them up from there.
Nice. Is there a limited number, or
we've ordered a limited number, but obviously we can order more stock depending on how popular they are.
Yeah, okay, so that's still an option for you as such. Yeah, so just looking at the chat room, just making sure we're not missing anything. Oz Fox, huge congratulations to the community there at Ballarat.
Thanks, Jace.
And so yeah, and so I have cheated a bit. I've gone through and stalked the page a little bit, and some of the logs on there, everyone seems to be enjoying the tour. Looks it would be a hit by the sounds of things. Is there anything else coming up, or anything else you want to chat about or mention that we haven't asked you, or anything?
Not necessarily. Obviously, depending on when you come to Ballarat, it's known to be a bit cold in winter, so bring your jacket, especially if you're from up north. But otherwise, it's a really beautiful spot. There's a fantastic lake that I guess is the showpiece of Ballarat. And for those that, I'm sure you've heard of Ballarat and gold. So we've got some incredible historic buildings in this town. It's absolutely beautiful. And it's not a massive town. So I think what the GeoTour really does is give you a taste of all of those highlights when you come and visit. So hopefully, it entices you to either come back or to spend a bit longer and do some of those things that are locally around Ballarat. But it's a beautiful place.
I just thought of a question. Is there a particular order that you need to find the caches in, or any order will do?
Any order is fine. Yep.
Nice.
They're sort of, and I must admit, when we weren't very strategic when we did them. They were just numbered as we went because it was a bit last minute. So, trying to all those things that happen at the end. So, and then once they were locked in, we couldn't change them. So they're a bit random, but you can just do them in any order.
Nice.
Just got another question on Facebook there from Paul Marshall. He's asking if there's enough uptake and coins purchased, is the life of the tour likely to be extended? Like, is that a possibility?
I guess it's a possibility. That's obviously at least 2 years down the track before we would look at doing anything like that. But I guess for me, I think 3 years is long enough. And I guess, as I indicated at the start, what we would really like to do is, after the, say 2 year mark where we've got some really good data, is hit up another council and try and have another GeoTour somewhere. But obviously, that's time and effort, and that's a long way in the future with plenty of other things to do in between. So who knows? Watch this space, I guess.
Never know what could happen. That's awesome. Thanks, Paul.
And Kitty Catch has just mentioned to your comment there that Canberra cases can handle the cold.
They sure can. It's the Queenslanders that I worry about because I can't handle the heat when I go there. So. And
Danielle just mentioned that, yep, sure can. So, it's good. And Oz Fox just on there's great variety of caches there in Ballarat, and he's working his way through them.
There's some great hides here.
All right. Is there anyone else in the chat room that has any questions before we move on? Typing. thank you. While we're waiting, thank you for joining us, Gemma. It's been very informative. And
No worries.
hopefully get some people to go and visit Ballarat.
Yeah, hopefully this has inspired people to get in the car and go.
I'd like to get there. We just have to figure it out.
That's right. Schedule it in.
Schedule it in. Write that down. Oh, hang on. Tank Engine's just written something in here. What happens if a cache gets archived in the tour?
Well, hopefully they won't. But I guess I'm not quite sure, because I guess we haven't talked about that, because we're assuming none will. That's a really good question. I guess we've got a team of people that are willing to. And look, unfortunately, we've already had one stolen. I guess is the word. In the first week.
Missing.
So yeah, so I guess what we'll do is the plan will be to slightly, and we had to adjust a couple of coordinates on one, because one was in a place where it probably shouldn't have been, and one was 6 meters off or something, and then people were having trouble. And so the aim is actually for it to be open for everyone, and for them to be accessible. So they're all low terrain and low difficulty level. It's more about enjoying and exploring Ballarat. And I guess if so we've got one on, I guess, watch at the minute, and if something happens to the replacement, then we'll move it within 100 meters, I guess, of where it is to a not so, I guess, dodgy spot. We didn't think it was dodgy when we put it there, but I guess like other things, when you do stuff and think it's okay, and and then you find out afterwards maybe not.
I just thought of, is there a restriction on distance? Like, obviously you get to 161, but the maximum?
No, so basically when you have a GeoTour, we actually have managed to get everything. I think, and that's, I was alluding to before, that we have a fantastic caching community. So there was probably maybe 10 caches that were archived to make room for caches that have gone out. So people have been really good in that sense, but they're actually, with a GeoTour, you get a bit of leeway. So, there was one spot that we were looking at, and we could only get 100 meters from it, and it was like, so potentially we could have been a bit closer than 161 for some caches, but at the end of the day, we managed to find spots that suited our needs, that didn't require shortening of distance. But I guess they do allow that as part of a GeoTour.
Okay, so a little bit more lenient, because they want, I guess they want the tour to go ahead, really, don't they? So.
Well, that's right. Yeah, it's money for GeoHQ. So
that's right. Yeah.
So
got an interesting question here from Facebook, Lisa Wilmont. What would you suggest is the best size group to do the tour? The more or the smaller? More the better, or small groups?
I would say smaller. I think there's a few groups that have done it on the last couple of weekends, where 2 or 3 cars maximum, I guess. So 5 to 7 people at one time. Obviously, you can do it however you like, but I think sometimes you don't enjoy the experience. Well, you enjoy it because there's a big group of people, but sometimes you miss out on stuff when there's a big group of people as opposed to a smaller group. So
it's different, isn't it?
And just thinking, with you mentioned that it's completely within the boundaries of Ballarat and stuff. So I'm assuming that parking's not an issue at any of these places. Like, there's not dodgy.
No, so obviously there's. I think there's the two caches that are in the centre of town. You can basically, there's free parking for an hour, so you should be able to complete the caches in that allotted time. Everywhere else is maybe 2 hours if it's around the lake or close to the lake, but you don't need to pay for parking at any of those places. So pretty much everything's accessible most of the time, except in Ballarat we have big rowing regattas. So the second day of the launch, there was the lake was chockers full of people rowing. So, and one of the caches is near the very, very beginning of the rowing course, like we're talking 20 meters away. So obviously, there's times where stuff's going to be busy, but generally speaking, you're pretty safe.
So you had a beer festival and a rowing regatta all in the same weekend.
We did, yeah. So
Nice.
opposite ends of the lake. It's a big lake.
Fair enough. All right. Dave's just chucked in there. It's maintain the caches during the 3 years usually takes a good team of local caches. It sounds like you got a good team behind you and with you there anyway. So
yeah, so everyone's got their cache on watch, and I'm watching everything. And obviously, everybody sort of knows that if someone's away, then we'll just hit up someone else in the group to come and fix it. And I think for the most part, caches are pretty good people anyway. So if a logbook's full, they'll change it for you, and those sort of things. So
yeah, they're pretty good too.
Yes.
And we tried to. I'll say when we allocated the caches, we tried to put it near where everybody lived. So, it was sort of, that's really close to your house, so you take that one. And
close to be able to maintain
yeah.
Who got the D5?
No D5.
No D5s.
Well, and I guess that was one of the things that we wrote in the grant. So one of the reasons is that they're easier terrain and easier difficulties is that we wanted to make this accessible for everyone. And so there'll be some local publicity that we do with council and state government coming up. We just didn't want to do any publicity prior because numbers were tight with how many were allowed outside, and we didn't want to have anyone show up and then, get in trouble for being in a large group outside when all of the sort of stuff that goes with being politically incorrect. So so that'll follow.
Oh, sounds good. All right. I think we've got all the questions that we've had.
Yeah, we've exhausted our questions. So if anyone in the chat room has any more follow-up questions, please get them in quick. Otherwise, we will wrap up this section.
Yep.
And, move it on.
Julay's just chucked in a comment there of the caching community is awesome.
They sure are.
They sure are, yeah.
It's amazing how geocaches, we're volunteers, we'll always volunteer to help an event or whatever's needed doing. If someone's, log is full, I'll replace it. It's quite amazing.
Yeah, there's not too many bad eggs.
No.
So. Well, anyway, I think we've finished with the questions, Gemma. So again, thanks for joining us. If you want to stick around,
hang around.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No worries. Thank you. Alrighty, guys. Remember, if you'd like to be on the show, send us an email, geocachingdownunder@gmail.com.au or just .com, not .au. Don't mind me. I need dinner. All right. So let's move on to our next section, which is pretty exciting. Cool. Alrighty. So first we're going to jump on into our calendar. So we've had another awesome month for our calendar competition. We've had quite a few entries. So thank you everyone for submitting your photos. It's been quite interesting to see some of the photos that's submitted this month, or last month, I should say.
They're a bit different to what we've been getting.
Yeah, that's great. All right, Gary, if you're ready with the picture, I will announce the February winner is... Let me just get to my... I don't have... Never mind, carry on. It is Thomas Schultz, which is Tank Engine. So this picture is in Namaji National Park, and I believe this was a caching day out with Lisa and Danielle. One of our Patreons. So that looks like a pretty fun caching day out.
It does.
Hang on, girls. That's a
dear.
winning picture for February. So that's going in the calendar. Congratulations, Tank Engine. Thank you for submitting.
Thanks for submitting, and thanks for everyone for voting as well. It's hey, crowd goes wild.
Small crowd goes wild. All right, yeah. So we have put up the March post. So there it is there. Find that picture on our page. Scroll on down. Put in the comments your pictures. Obviously keeping it PG.
Yes.
And we're counting the winners by number of votes, which is reaction. So like, love, cry, anger, whatever it is, most wins. Tell us how you really feel.
Tell us how you feel.
And yeah, we'll announce the next winner next month. So thank you everyone for participating. It's been great.
Yeah, just look like Taryn just said. Just look for that photo in the comments. Put your photo in there. Get in there and comment as well. Make it fun. It has been fun so far. It's been really good. So
Yeah, it's been some really good shots, some really good
there has been
photography.
some really awesome photos that didn't win. So it's
Yeah,
been...
I know. And that's the other thing. If you didn't win, feel free to submit your photo again the next month. You know,
Yeah,
don't
double
feel
them up.
submit it once.
Not the winning one. If you did
No,
win,
not
come on.
the winning one. No.
So yeah, so contact us through the email. Let us know what's going on in your neck of the woods. We only see some things on Facebook, but we rely on you guys to let us know what's going on as well. So just hit us up on the what's it called? Email. And oh geez, sorry, my back's just broken on me. If you want a topic for it that you want us to discuss, tell us what you'd like to chat about. It's your show. Let us make it fun for you. And
Yes,
we
absolutely.
are nearly done. We're about to wrap things up with what everybody's favorite part of the show is
That's
giving
right.
away stuff.
Get into the exciting bit.
There's lots of stuff to give away today.
There is. It's bonanza. Ding 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 bonanza. Okay, I won't stop. All right, moving on to the prizes. Alrighty, so thank you everyone for joining us on this episode 3 of season 2. We really appreciate you all joining us. Now we come to the exciting bit. So Gary, I'm going to throw over to you.
Excellent. So prize draws. Again, thanks to geostuff.com.au. See, they have the AU, we don't. So
Yeah.
geostuff.com.au. So this prize we've got this month we've got a few prizes. So prize 1 is do we have photos of these, Terry Ann? Are you going to be able to chuck them up for us?
I do. Let me put that up on the screen. So
we're going to have prize 1. One person is going to win the Mars Lander Pack, which includes the Perseverance coin, patch, and TB. The prize 2 is going to be the Jumbo Solar System Marble, which is actually the wrong way around there. It's actually number 3, but anyway, on the picture. And the other one is going to be another geocaching T-shirt, either in black or khaki. And that, again, is thanks to geostuff.com.au. So we have a couple of questions. So everyone's going to get their typing fingers ready. Fast fingers. Here we go. Excuse me. So question 1, that is for the Mars Lander Pack. So the coin, the patch, and the TB. Question is, what are the names of the 2 instruments that the trackable calibration target is used for? So what are the 2 names of the instruments that the trackable calibration target is used for?
Better get ready to write down the win.
Ooh. There's an answer. I just saw it. Where'd it go?
I saw it, but it disappeared.
Oh, there it is. It just went by. So Diane Gowans, Watson, and Sherlock. That is the correct answer.
Nice. Congratulations.
Well done, Diane. Well done. Duncan got in there too, just a little bit too slow. Kitty catch. Sherlock and oh, good. Well done, Diane. So that's the first one. So that is the was it Perseverance coin, patch, and trackable. So for the Jumbo system, what is it? Jumbo Solar System Marble. Okay, for the marble, the question is, what is Sherlock Holmes's London address? What is Sherlock Holmes's London address? That's the correct answer there, Duncan Evans. Oh, hang on, where to go? Let me just make sure that.
Tell me
Duncan
about
did have
fast
that right.
fingers. They're coming in thick and fast. That's great.
Not wrong. Where to go?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've actually got Kitty Catch as the first one in there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find it now. Where did it all go? Kitty Catch 221B Baker Street. Yeah, I've got. Yes, sorry, it is Kitty Catch. I don't know
Kitty
what's
Catch?
going on there.
All right,
Yeah,
go Kitty
Catch for the first one in.
Catch!
Well done, Kitty Catch. Sorry about that. The bloody everyone goes enter at the same time. It just goes. Screen fills up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Rightio. Okay, so and Terry Ann, I think you've got this one already written down there somewhere.
I do. So
Excellent. So
we're falling back on our old favourite. If everyone would like to vote only once, you will only be voting once. Pick a
only
number
once.
between 1 and 100. Closest wins. Go, 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 go.
And that's for the T-shirt. So
T-shirt, you choose black or the khaki. Khaki, we camouflaged from the muggles, and black for night caching.
So you're going to have to keep an eye on the numbers here, Terry Ann, because I've got no idea.
You've got no. I have told you nothing. Woohoo. And numbers coming in. Good. Remember, you can only vote once.
Yeah, just one vote.
Just the one. Alrighty, well, someone got close, but it was multiple votes. Discounting that one. Alright, let me just go and find next nearest. Alrighty, I'm going to call that one. So the Wallaby Wanderers, you were the closest, 15 away. So good job, Wallaby Wanderers.
Wallaby Wanderers.
I will
There we
be
go. Well done.
the show and get some details.
So, okay, I was about to say you'll contact them to figure out what
Yes.
what colour, size, all that sort of stuff.
All that jazz, yes.
Yes, and it keeps on coming.
It does.
No,
We've got a surprise pack for you.
a surprise coin.
Ta-da!
So Gemma in the chat before was talking about a limited edition coin that can only be you can only get it at events where it's been given away by Geocaching Victoria or the Ballarat GeoTour stuff. So can you see, you know what the question is, do you, Gemma? Do you want to ask this one or?
Yeah, so the question is to win a limited edition coin, which you cannot purchase, you can only win. How many caches are in the Ballarat GeoTour?
All right, first one to answer.
Gee, I wonder how many there are.
I wonder if everyone is paying attention.
So Kitty Catch is the first one that came up on my stream. I don't know about from your end.
Where did it all go? There's so many.
Keep on scrolling. Alrighty, looks like Heather was quickly in behind you there, Kitty. Seeing as you've already won a prize tonight, would you mind if we give that one to Heather? Just to spread it around a little. I think that's fair. Let us know, Kitty Catch.
Looks like Darren's got a bit of a delay in his tonight.
I think that happens when you're so far away.
Houston Dave.
So Kitty has just said, can she have the Ballarat GeoTour coin? And Heather can get the other one that Kitty won before.
The marble.
Yeah.
Fine
So
by me.
Good.
Yep, that's fine. So Kitty, as I said before, they're actually not in the country yet. So when they arrive, we will be in touch, or I know you'll be down anyway. So I'm sure I'll be able to give it to you in person.
Excellent. No worries. And so just to clarify, the answer was 25. Well done. Texas got a little bit carried away, I think, and hit his numbers too fast and got him 52. But the numbers are right. Well done, Texas. Okay, and I think that finally we've reached the end of our prizes.
Yep,
That's a lot of prizes. That's a lot of prizes to give away.
Yeah.
Thanks to Geocaching Victoria and the Ballarat GeoTour for that, and also for geostuff.com.au for ongoing support. It's awesome. Without you guys, at the end of the show, it'd be very boring.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Dear. All right. Massive thanks to the sponsors, which you pretty much just covered. But Lainey Kelly at LKCG, couldn't do this without you. Thank you very much. Also, GeoStuff, couldn't do this without you. Thank you. And our Patreons, thank you for donating each month. You do help the show to keep running. So we've got See My Shell, Kitty Catch in the room, chat room, Green Cordial, GC Jazz, Kingfisher AU, Snappy Tomcats, Jule. She's also here. Darren Archer, he's here. Captain Roverman, Georgia, Kim Jarvis, and DTY, who is here tonight. So thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for being here live. And also a big thank you to everybody on the replay, whether you're viewing or just listening. Speaking of that, you can watch the replay on YouTube or listen via podcast apps such as Spotify, Podbean, Stitcher, etc. And that...
Andrea, we can see Facebook comments here on the live feed. So feel free to comment on Facebook as well.
Yep. So thank you, everyone. And with that, that's our hour-ish mark that we usually aim for. And
nice.
Might be the end.
I will play us some music to get us out of here.
No worries. Just stay in the chat room, guys. And
once again, Gemma, thank you for joining us, telling us all about the Ballarat GeoTour. Looking forward to getting down there to see that.
No worries. See you all soon.
Thanks, mate.
Alrighty. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy. There we go. Done.
And we're done. Excellent.
Well done.
Thank you, everybody.
I told you I can waffle.
So everyone in the chat, thanks for coming. This show's over, but just thanks again. It's always good when you guys are here and you throw the questions out for us. It means we don't need to write as many.
Our little brains.
Houston Dave's going to cook some breakfast.
I'm heading to dinner, Houston. God.
Thanks, Darren. Thanks, Diane. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thanks, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you for joining us, taking time out of your night or early morning, as it were.
Early morning, evening, whatever the time may be.
Good night. Nice. All right. Well, I'm sure we will come across people either at the Queensland Mega or Wangaratta or Millicent somewhere. We will bump into you.
Yeah.
I know, Gary, you're going to the Queensland event. I'm not going to that one. So
I'm certainly hoping to.
Yeah. Fingers crossed with the borders and whatnot.
It's not that far for us, so hopefully it's all full steam ahead. Looking at the Sheridan sent me a government COVID thing, and it's there shouldn't be any reasons at the moment for anything to go wrong. Fingers crossed, but
right.
Stranger things have happened.
Yes, it sort of happens rapidly, doesn't it?
Yeah. and Kitty Catch there. Good to see that he shows the Houston Dave making it international.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It is good fun.
I never would have thought we would have had overseas visitors.
No. Julie, you might be able to answer this one at all. Gemma, anything going on Wangaratta? Everything's full steam ahead, is it?
Yeah, it's ticking along behind the scenes, so nothing to report.
Cool. Sweet. Close that. Why is my screen not... Oh, there we go. I didn't realise this was on until I checked Facebook at 8. Sorry.
Got to set yourself a reminder, Andrea.
Yeah. Laney, good show, everyone. Thanks for the fun.
Tell ya.
Fingers crossed we'll get to Wangaratta. Yes, it's all up in the air. Like, when you can understand why the US Canada ones were cancelled. Like, they're still crazy over there at the moment, but it's all looking pretty good here at the moment. So, alrighty.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Cool.
Alrighty, guys.
Well, I think we might. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night.
And hopefully we'll catch up with you at the Queensland Mega, whoever's coming.
Yeah. Go and say hi to Gary.
It's not the first Wednesday. Sorry, it's whenever my shifts allow it. It's usually in the first week of the month.
Yeah, we try the first week of the month, but
we try for the first week. Yeah. So, but it is on Facebook. So if you like the page, you should be able to get a bell or something. I don't
try and give you
that side of it.
Yep.
So.
Awesome. Alrighty. Well, thank you, everybody, and we will see you all in April.
Catch you all.
See you next month. Thank you.
See you later.